It's a matter of keeping each other accountable, giving each other grace when you're going through conflicts like these so that you can be better people individually and for each other. It's giving Miss Universe. Hello, my loves, and welcome back to the Heart to Heart podcast with me, Patty, as your host, wherein we have honest and heartfelt conversations about meaningful topics that encourage you to live a beautiful life. So, for today's episode, we are going to be talking about the magic of girlhood. So this episode is actually related to my outfit today. As you can see, it's giving Isla, island girl, very it girl living in the islands, because I actually just came from the magical island of Siargao here in the Philippines for a solo trip. So I go there every year. But one thing that's different this year is I went with my closest girlfriends, together with my local friend who already lives there. So we're in for a treat. You're in for a little bit of a podcast episode on the topic of friendship. And just so we're guided during this this episode is divided into 3 parts, and I have my trusty laptop here to tell you the 3 parts. The first one is friendship isn't always easy, but that's the magic of it. The second one is tell me who your friends are, and I'll tell you who you are. And the last one is finding your kindred sisters. So let's hop to it. Okay, now on to the first part. So basically, magkukwento ako because I want to give you the context of how I came up with a topic for this week's podcast episode at the same time, just to give you a little bit of sneak peek of what's happening in the Side Quest Queen's life. So, ayun na nga, I went to Siargao recently from the dates of July 29th to August 12th. And the thing is, every year, I actually go to Siargao. So it's like a yearly routine, yearly trip already, and it's my solo trip. Like, it always has to be solo. So I was really looking forward to this. But for this year, my girlfriends and I decided that we go together, only that mauuna ako dun, and then I just meet them there. So I was really looking forward to this because ayun nga, every year, it's just me, myself, and I, and the people that I meet during vacation. So I always romanticize my solo trips because it's a time to sit with who I am, know myself fully, also expand my connections, whether it be romantic or platonic, with the people I meet during vacation. And yeah. So truly, every year na nagsasargaw ako, my independence is highlighted. You know, it's just me, myself, and I don't have to attend to anyone and follow anyone else's itinerary. But ayun na nga, for this year, I will be traveling with my girls. So obviously, we all have different itineraries. It's not my first time. Some of them, it's going to be their first time. But this Siargao trip reminded me of the magic of sisterhood. So without me telling the whole entire specific story and not, naming names, let me just give you the gist of it. So basically, like, I'm all alone in Siargao since nauna nga ako doon. And then when my girls started coming, we all had different things on our to-do list. So ako naman, whenever I travel to Siargao nga, I really like to take it slow. Like, I don't want to be rushed. I usually still do my routine because I'm a digital nomad. So I will still continue to work and I'm not fully on vacation mode. But come August 1st, when my girls started coming already one by one, it's like I kind of had to shift into the gear of like, okay, so hindi na lang ako yung nandito. Kumbaga, parang kailangan ko na rin mag-adjust kasi hindi na lang ako yung nasa trip na to, right? So there's that. And then on the days coming forward, more of my girlfriends started coming. So we were around 6 altogether. And then when we all started coming, again, travel always tests your friendships and relationships, whether it be with other people and yourself. But in this case, let's focus on your relationships with others, or in this case, friendship. I think lahat naman tayo makaka-relate na when we all travel, it's like you all have to kind of move in the same pace kasi if not, then the trip wouldn't go as planned or the itinerary won't be followed. So that's kind of what happened with us. But what I like is that there was some sort of grace na, okay, since you don't want to go here, since you've already been, Blanc and I will go do this so that we can still experience it. So we gave each other that grace, but still in some of the moments, we kind of butted heads. And I say this in the most loving manner. My girls, I know you might be watching this, but I say this in the most loving way because you're gonna understand. Like, my love for my girls just grew after this trip because of how much we were tested and how we managed to come out of it stronger, better, and more mature. So there, with us butting heads, with different itineraries in mind and different pacing, we were bound to get into heated arguments. Some of us would kind of retreat back into our shells and like kind of be avoidant. I know I have an avoidant side, but then when it comes to my girls, I do tend to be like clingy, like, oh, guys, like, this is supposed to be such a cute trip. So that, I'm not like that in relationships anymore. But, with my girls, like, they are my lovers. So I was always in the mindset of like, hey, guys, like, why is this happening? Da 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 da. But then I also had to be mature and understand that other people, when they're in arguments or they're in disagreements, they react differently. And that's fine because iba yung kinalakihan nila, probably, or how they are on their own. So we all had to give each other grace, and I like that naman. So there's that on that. But besides that, even within my own friend circle, we were already having these small minor arguments and disagreements. Outside of us, there was also an altercation happening between someone from our circle and another friend of mine. Girl, if you're seeing this, I really mean this in the most loving way. Like, again, it's such a funny experience to look back at now, but it really struck something in me in terms of friendship and how much you really have to work on it as well. Like, there's so much maturity that has to go into friendships, especially if you're an adult already. Because, it's not like you can just leave people and not explain your side or just build resentment within you, which I also have that tendency, but it's my girls, especially during this situation, that taught me na, hey, if you really care about someone, it matters how you communicate the issue at hand, what you feel, and what you can do to fix or mend the friendship. So anyway, ayun na nga, there were some altercations within our circle and also an altercation outside of our circle, and ako parang feeling ko naiipit ako dun. So I also was feeling very like naiipit. Ayun, like I didn't feel comfortable. My heart was aching because, heartbreaks with friends are more heartbreaking than a breakup with a guy. Honestly, I'm just saying. But my girls are my lovers. So, when stuff like these happen, I get really affected. Yeah, I think I'm grown enough to admit that. Like, I get really affected when it comes to friendships. I think because of like past experiences as a kid growing up, friendship breakups, people abandoning you, abandonment wounds, or stuff like that. So, ayun. Anyway, going back to the story, there was a time when there wasn't good enough communication between me and a certain girlfriend of mine. I think we were on the same page of like just letting each other have their time to breathe after the altercation and like not butt heads right away because if you address it right away, it's like you're just gonna spit out things that you don't want to say or you'll end up regretting. So for most of the trip, you weren't talking. Girl, I swear to God, if you see this, girl, I love you. Like, I swear. But yeah, like my heart was breaking because I was like, shit, this is a friendship that I really care about. Like in the moment, I was really annoyed, pissed, or like hurt, heartbroken. But at the back of my mind, I really was like, but I can't let it go. Like, I love her so much. Like, she my boo, Like, I can't just throw this friendship away because of one small altercation. So, there, like, I was really heartbroken. And, it's during these fights with your girls, probably na you see each other's ugly sides or yung hindi kaaya-ayang side or yung parang, ay, may gantong side pala si ano. For others, like, it's easy to just like, bitch, I don't need this. Like, bye. Which I have that tendency too. And I also have the tendency to be a tit for tat girl, which I am working on. Like, yung parang, if you do this, I can go lower and hit you more type shit. But like, that's very toxic. So I think one thing that has changed within me throughout all my friendships in the past years is that I've learned to kind of breathe first before responding. I think like the pause breathe act, which is something I, do to my clients in my online work. It's so helpful because it helps me ground myself first before exploding on someone, like, reacting. Because I've done that in the past, even especially during a Siargao trip. So I won't expound on that, but like it really helps if you're high on ashwagandha. I'm kidding. It really helps if you try and process your emotions first. So for this issue, what I did is I just processed my emotions first, and then when the other person was ready to talk, that's when we did. And so when we did get the chance to run into each other and talk about the issue at hand, what I love about this girlfriend of mine is how she was very understanding as well, and she was able to admit her flaws, and so was I. Like, I was very apologetic about what she called me out for because it was so very much valid. So I made sure to validate her feelings, but I like how she also listened to my feelings because, there's a reason why we're friends in the first place. Like, I wouldn't be friends with her if I didn't resonate with the way she is as a person or how she lives her life. So I like it was such a heartfelt moment because when we did get to talk to each other, like there was no inch of hatred or parang I'm gonna sumbat this or tit for tat. Like it was such a mature conversation that it just made me love her 10 times, 100 times, infinity times more. And doon ako na pa, oh, ganun pala, no? Like, friendships are just the same as romantic relationships na you have to voice out your feelings, emotions, and work through them together so that you are facing the problem together and not facing each other fighting. Tapos doon naman sa internal conflicts namin within my own friend circle because, we were having some small disagreements, right? So there was a time na magta-Tri Island tour na kami the next day. Tapos syempre may hinanakit pa yung isa't isa, like just minor things. And it just wasn't a good energy to hop into, especially since we were gonna be spending the whole day together the next day. So I was like, hindi to pwede. Like, ako kasi medyo may pagka-peacemaker role ako na ginagampanan or like, I just really like it when people get along with each other. So, not that I needed to, but I kind of took on that role to be the facilitator, negotiator, or peacemaker to have that talk and open up that circle, that forum for everyone to voice out their concerns that they have with each other and fix it. So, there was this moment na pumunta kami sa Siargao Books Cafe. I hope I'm saying that right or remembering that right, but it was just such a cute moment too because like alam mo yun, like, we all grew up together, some of us grew up together, but, like, the friendship and the love that we have for each other, mas na-strengthen siya during that circle, that forum that we had na parang each one was voicing out what they had a problem with the other, and the other was giving them grace and just hearing them out. Walang nagsusumbatan, no shouting. It's just like so peaceful. And I like how we all listen to each other, but there was also some funny moments because like come on, it's not that serious or like tawanan na lang natin ng kaonte just so it doesn't get too serious. But doon ako napafall in love talaga sa friends ko. It's like wow, like one thing I can get out of this friendship is ayun pala, like you really have to communicate but also learn how to laugh but also fix the issue at hand so that it doesn't prolong for longer than it should be. Again, so I would just like to highlight the grace, accountability, and emotional intelligence that my girlfriends showed both internally in our friend circle and the one outside like with the altercation. Like that was such a siguro highlight na siya ng Siargao trip ko kasi every year there's like a story that happens, But eto talagang most recent Siargao trip, friendship ang na-highlight. Kasi, romantic relationships come and go, but it's your friends that really stick with you throughout your entire life, hopefully. Pero ayun nga, it's like, it's a matter of keeping each other accountable, giving each other grace when you're going through conflicts like these, and learning how to grow from altercations like these so that you can be better people individually and for each other. It's giving Miss Universe. Tapos gusto ko lang rin i-share yung realization na to na friendships don't have to be perfect to be fulfilling. It's the fact that you guys can go through so much shit or have these resentments and come out of it better that makes it magical. Like, yun talaga, the magic of sisterhood. Like, it's not always gonna be perfect, but the fact that you're willing to work on it together and face life together in a mature and loving way, like, man, like, I could really live off of friendship for my entire life and not need a man, because, dang, I love my girl so much. Girl got me emotional. Pero ayun nga, sometimes the people who fill your heart the most aren't romantic partners. Most of the time, it's your friends. So keep them close to your heart, work on it, and love one another. Okay, on to the next topic. Now, on to the second point. Tell me who your friends are, and I'll tell you who you are. So, I wanted to talk about this because, when you have friends when you're a kid or you're making friends as a kid, it's very different because you tend to make friends due to proximity or circumstance, aka, you become friends with someone because you go to the same school, you're seatmates, you're in the same class, or circumstance like, oh, you're going to the same event. So, you kind of just become friends because of that event that, let's say, you're required to go to. So that's how it's always been, at least for me. But I think a lot of you guys can relate now when you're making friends growing up. It's because of proximity and circumstance. But now that we are adults, it's okay to be picky and intentional with the friends that you are with. Why is that? And that's because of this quote: tell me who your friends are, and I'll tell you who you are. Who you spend the most time with influences who you are as a person. It affects your character, your morals, your values, which is why, if you're in the line of self development or you just want to be a better version of yourself, it's very important that you become very picky of the people that you surround yourself with. Also, especially the ones that you call friends. Ako kasi, if I think about it, I'm a very friendly person. Like, a lot of people say na you're very approachable, Patty. Like, I love your energy. Like, you're very attractive in terms of your aura and demeanor. And I know that. And as someone who is like a divine feminine or works on herself, self development, self love, it's a common experience to go through that. And a lot of you divine feminines might know that. So, I get it, and I'm very jolly. Like, I like bringing happiness and joy into every room that I walk into. So I know I can say that I'm a very friendly person. That, and I'm good with my social communication skills just because, like, we were taught in school. And, me doing pop ups for a business, it's like we're trained to talk to many people. So I find it very easy to talk to people. But the thing is, growing up, or especially in this season of my life, yes, I can talk to you. Yes, we can form a really nice connection, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna consider you as a close friend of mine. You can be an acquaintance, you can be a good friend, but a close friend and a sister? I'm sorry, girl, but we haven't reached that point yet until we've gone through something that I can say, oh, okay, she's a close friend of mine. Or not necessarily go through something like a fight, but more so get to know you on a deeper level. Na I can say na, I like her. I like her soul. I like her mindset. I like her vibe. I like her aura. I like what she's working towards. I like her goals. That's when I can say na, she's a close friend of mine or she's a sister. Because in line with being picky with your friends, you also kind of have to apply the onion rule. I hope I'm saying this rule right, but you know how an onion has layers to it? So it's the same as your friendship circles. Like, yung outer layer na yon, those are like your acquaintances, the people that you see on a day-to-day basis dahil sa work mo, sa school, or circumstances. And then pagdating dun sa inner, those are like the people that you consider your people talaga, ganon-ganon. But that doesn't mean they're gonna defend you when you're not there, right? Tapos yung susunod na inner circle is, these are your people na they will defend you, they love you, they always praise you, but you don't really know the inner them, or like even their ugly side. Like, you haven't seen that side. Tapos yung pinaka inner circle na only a few people get to see. For me, that would be my sister, because she and I have gone through so much. I know her ugly side, she knows my ugly side, but we love each other, and that's not just because we're siblings, but because I'd like to believe we chose each other as best friends in this lifetime. Girl, if you see this, don't. Girl, don't. But I love you, sis. So, anyway, that and yung inner circle ko are my girls that I went to Siargao with. Like, we really did grow up together, and we know each other's flaws and the way our minds work really, like, so much because we spend a lot of time together. But yeah, that's your inner circle. So, knowing how to distinguish who fits into which layer of that onion, it matters. You can't hold someone accountable for the role of being someone in your inner circle when in reality, acquaintance lang sila. I hope I'm making sense. Because, you can expect so much from people, pero yun pala, they don't reciprocate that same energy, especially in friendships. If you're listening to this and you relate, Hunty, like, it hurts. I've been there, done that. And for my many years living on this earth, you just really learn from your experiences, na not everyone is your close friend. And you have to just be okay with that and know who your real people are and work on that. Your real people, the ones who are meant for you, will help you grow, will call you out for things that are not good. They will influence you to have bigger dreams and goals, and they will just make you the best version of yourself. And I want to say this because I noted this down, but the people closest to you influence your mindset, habits, standards, and even how you see yourself. So you really have to be careful of who you surround yourself with, because if you want to win in life, you also have to be friends with winners, baby. You can't be around losers. That's not a way to live life. If you want to win, be with the winners. Okay? Period. And again, just because I noted it down here, friendship is an investment, not just something that happens naturally. It can, from the get go, happen nicely and naturally, but it's the people that help you become a better version of yourself. Those are the ones that you invest time and energy on so that it goes back to you. It's reciprocated and you just become a better version of yourself too. Okay, on to the last talking point, which is finding your kindred sisters. So I like to use the word kindred because it means someone with a like mindset, someone who has the same values, morals as you. So it's nice to find kindred sisters, not just kindred people, but sisters, because you can rely on them. You have a special connection. So that's how I want to end this podcast, because I feel like it's such a good thing to talk about, like where to find them, how to find them. So let's talk about it. So let's say you're starting fresh. Maybe you've outgrown a friendship circle, or you just distance yourself from a group of people that you don't resonate with anymore. So what happens now? You're all alone. You don't know how to start fresh with finding people, sisters of the like mindset, like when it comes to self-development, spirituality, or whatever topic you want. I genuinely believe that the first step is really getting to know yourself first, because when you know yourself, you know what type of people you want to attract. So let's say I'm starting fresh. I kind of just broke up with a friendship circle. I hope that doesn't happen to you, but if it did, I'm sorry, and let's work on it together, babes. But this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna work on yourself, pour back that energy back to yourself, and try to get to know yourself as if you were your own friend that you're getting to know for the first time. So, for example, for me, if I'm all alone, I could start journaling. Like, this is what I actually expect in a friendship. This is what I want. This is my standard for when it comes to friendships. That, and then you can also start exploring hobbies that you like. Do you like to go pickleballing? Do you like surfing? Do you like traveling? Do you like talking about this topic? Do you like playing video games? Do you like self development, self care, stuff like that? So once you get to know who you are as a person and kind of like even go on solo dates, it's like these are the things that I like doing on my own. Why not find people who also like doing this? So, personally for me kasi, ganun yung ginawa ko. Like, anytime I'm starting fresh, whether it be coming from a breakup, romantically or platonically, it's like, okay, it's just me, myself, and I again. Ano ba talagang gusto ko on my own? I like self-development. I like traveling. I like self-care. I like reading books. I like painting. I like going to the beach. I love surfing. So, kinilala ko muna yung sarili ko. And from that, I know the type of women that I want to align with. So again, here in my trusty laptop, I've noted down where can you meet women who align with you. So once you know yourself already, you will know the type of people that you want to align with. One, you can try new hobbies and community events. Second, you can join social gatherings. Third, you can go on solo trips and meet other travelers, which is what I've been doing for the past 4 years. And honey, I love it so much. And then another one is put yourself in spaces where the kind of person you want to meet would naturally be, whether that be a business convention, a self development talk, a social gathering where girlhood and sisterhood is highlighted, stuff like that. And I put here as a reminder, don't just look for friends, build a life that attracts people who align with your values. I think that's the perfect secret to making friends that make you feel fulfilled and in alignment with your highest self. It all goes back to working on yourself so that you become the best version of yourself and find people who are also on the same path. So for me, I think this is a good segue because I wanted to introduce one of the social clubs that I recently put up. It's called the Kindred Sisters Club. Kinikilig ako. Oh my gosh. This is the first time I'm talking about it here in this Heart to Heart podcast because it's always been a dream of mine to kind of have a community of like-minded women, hence kindred sisters. In this community, we do social gatherings wherein we do activities like painting together or making vision boards together, or let's say exploring a city together, like Makati Maxing or stuff like that, for those who live here in Metro Manila, or most especially, retreats anchored on sisterhood, self-development, surfing. Kasi on my own, ako na yun eh. Like, I live my life anchored on spirituality, self-development, sisterhood, surfing, traveling. So why not form a community of women who also likes to do that or is interested in hopping on to that same mindset. So ayun, at this moment ng August 2026, it's very much still in its baby steps. Like it's still a baby concept. I already have the Instagram. I can insert it down below, but I've been like gauging the opinions of people through threads of what would they think about a retreat because I am setting up a retreat in La Union for those who are interested around November. It's going to be a 4-day retreat for girls under the Kindred Sisters Club, or if you want to join the Kindred Sisters Club, we're going to be having a surf and sisterhood retreat. So there's going to be coach surfing sessions, bonfire by the beach, yoga by the beach, a trek to the waterfalls, a cute little girls' night out. So, oh, I'm so excited about it. I'm still planning it together with other people, but the moment it comes to fruition, I'm going to be posting some posters, details about it on my social media. So do stay tuned. I hope you're still watching until this point, but for whoever's watching till this point, Hunty, I love you. Like, you are a real one. So, yes, I'm so looking forward to this manifestation of mine coming to fruition because I know I've already done like a prototype of this retreat before with my own circle of friends, but to share it with people, especially women who are also wanting to find women who are in the same line of like self development, sisterhood, and traveling ganon. Oh my gosh. Na-excite ako. So, sumali na kayo. And just to make sure I don't miss something from my notes, I said here, if you've been craving deeper friendships, more meaningful connections, and a community of women you can grow alongside, stay tuned. Maybe your kindred sisters are closer than you think. So that's that for the Kindred Sisters Club. I'm so excited. Not only will we have retreats, but we'll also have gatherings around the city, like simple ones, but very, very fun ones. So stay tuned for that. And we have finally reached the end of this podcast episode. And I think one good way to end this episode is to give a final takeaway, and that is girlhood isn't about finding the perfect friendships. It's about finding the people who are worth growing through the imperfect moments with. That was so good, girl. Oh my god. Galing sa ChatGPT eh. I'm just kidding. Anyway, but it's so true though. You don't have to find the most perfect friends or force a friendship that doesn't align with you. It's about finding people who are worth growing through moments that might not be the best, but you come out of it stronger and as better people individually. So, yeah, I hope you guys liked this episode. If you did, please give this video a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. It would mean so much to me. But that's it for now. Thank you so much for making time. I hope you have a beautiful day, week, month, life ahead of you, and I'm wishing you love and light your way. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!